I am here in studio with State Representative Joan Meschino, and she also has some of her associates here today before we go to our formal part of the interview, because I know you're doing a double good deed today. Not only you're talking with us, but when we're done, you're going to go downstairs to TIC, the Talking Information Center, and do a little reading.
Yes. I'm sure everyone who's listening here knows how important Talking Information Center is, but we just thought in the holiday spirits that we would lend a voice and do a little bit of reading for ourselves. And so I'm here with my legislative aides, Harrison and Jane, and when we're done here, we're going to go downstairs. And it's super easy, and I would encourage everyone to sign up and do a reading themselves.
That sounds terrific. We appreciate that. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about some of the issues that we've actually talked about several times during this last quarter, about issues that you have been a champion for in the State House, and kind of get some updates on what's happening. Now, I know something that you and State Senator Patrick O'Connor have been very involved in was making sure that there was a designation for a Veterans and Military Service Suicide Awareness Day. This is something that you have worked on for a while.
Yes. For those in the immediate area, you'll remember this is inspired by Sergeant Matthew Pratika. He was a U.S. Marine Corps serviceman who took his life, and his parents were very brave. They stepped forward and they said, we want everyone to know what happened, to build awareness and make sure that no other parents lose a child in the service in this way. And thanks to their courage, we have been pushing a bill, working closely with Senator O'Connor's office, to build that awareness, to designate the day, September 22nd, and it finally made its way through the House and the Senate, and it got signed by the governor. So we're pretty excited to report that back to you all. Listen, it's the holidays. We know that 1 in 9 suicide deaths in Massachusetts were either current service members or former military personnel. Those are big numbers, and we think it's a hugely important opportunity to make sure that we're building that awareness, building that community. Those services are there. And quite frankly, even apart from military, everyone out there should remember that the Good Samaritans are there too. And we're working closely with them and they're eager to highlight and tout this bill as well for all of their important good work. And I will just say it. If someone in your life is a veteran dealing with mental health challenges, whatever it might be, you can dial 988, press 1, and you will have 24/7 confidential crisis support. So this is a huge win, and the services are out there. It's about changing the culture and making sure everybody knows they can reach out. That help is there.
And that number again?
988.
So important. I saw something recently on TV. They were talking about military veterans going back to some of our first skirmishes, and how this has been a problem with PTSD before they had a name for it, and some of the stresses and, I guess, mental responsibilities that people who serve in our militaries have. And I think it's good that it's finally being acknowledged, and I'm glad there are things that can help people that are in tough situations. So 988.
988.
Number to call. Now, Climate Bank. What is that all about? What are you talking about? What are you putting solar panels in and out of a bank? What does that mean?
Well, sure. You've heard me talk a lot about our climate goals over my tenure of service, and we put climate goals in place that are meant to be ambitious because they are meant to drive innovation. And oftentimes we're talking about, resilience or climate or tech. This time we're talking about financing innovation. There's only so much money. Government can only spend so much. And what we're really trying to do is unlock private capital as part of a burgeoning climate economic sector. And the way I think about it is, and what inspired me to do it really was how we heat our homes and how we accomplish those retrofits on our homes, say from oil to gas. We all did that. Now we're trying to go from gas to, say, electric or solar or geothermal. Those are just examples. But to do that, you need to make inexpensive money available to regular people. And that's what having a climate bank would do. It would be a place that could bridge those lending gaps, and really unlock, support, say, local banks in these efforts. Or I think it might have been South Shore Heritage Bank that for a while, when we had the Solar Rex, I think it was them that was doing a lending program. But we just don't see that kind of lending anymore. And that's just one example that happened to inspire me. But that's what it's about, is just making inexpensive money to regular people so they can avail themselves of all of these new technologies, new retrofits. And the bottom line is, clean energy is the affordable energy right now.
And I want to talk to you about this, the Fore River Bridge openings. Now, if people are the commuters that have to go in and out of there or by there all the time, they know how it's really inconvenient if you don't know that the bridge is going to be up. And it was really getting difficult to get that information without going through a paywall in one of the local papers. But you've been able to make a difference there.
Oh my God, Harrison is the champion here. My legislative aide, he tracked this down. Honestly, I can't even tell you. We had to enlist the help of the Coast Guard to figure it all out. We figured it out, and what we've done is we've asked MassDOT now to publish that information in a couple of different ways. They have alerts that you can sign up for through MassDOT, but more to the point, for those of us who don't do it regularly, you can just check the hull times. They have agreed to post it on their electronic page, and they inspired. Huge shout out to Chris Harridan.
We love Chris Harridan.
He is a good man, and thanks to him and the willingness of the Hull Times to do it, the Patriot Ledger has also agreed to put that on the other side, so it's not on the other side of the paywall.
He's a great author
anymore.
and a good speaker too. Chris, if you're listening, I got to give you the plug.
Yeah, he's a Hull kid.
Nothing but mutual respect there.
That's right.
So that is terrific, because you think, how inconvenient was that? People thinking, well, how am I supposed to find out?
So if you drive regularly, if you're a regular commuter, you see it on the boards, at the electronic billboards that they post. But if you're someone like me who goes over once in a blue moon and you're cutting it close, boy, it's sometimes that 10 minutes is just enough to ruin your day. So it's just meant to give people an ability to plan their days. That's it.
What about housing and the Preserve Bill? Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, boy. So this was inspired by some things that were going on in Cohasset at the Preserve. And what was happening is these big equity companies are buying these properties, and what they're doing is using a glitch in the law to jack the rates up. In this instance, it was $770 a month on the affordable units. On the deed-restricted affordable units, outrageous.
How can they do that?
Well, there's a glitch in the law, so we filed a bill. I'm a legislator, that's what I do.
That's right.
I filed
and
a bill.
Attorney.
And an attorney, but I filed a bill. And what it really is doing is it's just saying that once you qualify for, that the sort of formal definition, affordable housing, you go through the process, 80% of the area median income, you meet that criteria. Once you're in, it just caps the rent increases. It just takes it away from, decouples it from area median income. That's about other people's wealth, right? Whereas the Consumer Price Index is about what the economic sort of situation and growth is over time. So we just said, it's so that we can keep housing stability. That is the goal, housing stability. And if you accept a unit like that, then, you should be able to rely on that. That's your home. And we shouldn't be, evicting these people so aggressively, because when they say they can't pay, they can't sign the lease, now they have to find someplace else. But, using this Preserve as an example, they were just on them to evict them immediately. It was awful. It's a business strategy. So we filed a bill. It's a first-time file, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. But it seemed pretty well received, and we'll continue that dialogue with the Joint Committee on Housing, and hopefully we'll be able to put these protections in place. It didn't happen quickly enough to help these people. But hopefully in the future we'll be able to keep that housing stability. That's what it is. Keep people in the communities. Housing stability.
Absolutely. And office hours, I know we talk about this, where people can come and talk to you or a member of their staff about things they have questions about or concerns about in the community. What are your office hours this month?
Oh, yeah. We love for people to even just swing through. I know it's super busy. So if you ever need us, don't wait for the office hours. Please call the office, 617-722-2092. Harrison will answer, and we'll get right on it. But otherwise, too, please come and visit with me at the office hours. This month, it's Monday, December 8th at Wilka Commons in Cohasset, and Monday, December 15th at 10 in Hull at the Council on Aging, and as well as in Hingham at 4 o'clock in the Hingham Public Library. So, yeah, I'll just be sitting there. Come and say hi.
That is terrific. And during this holiday season, and it's our end of the year wrap up, anything else you want to let our listeners know?
No, I just want to say, best wishes for a very, very happy holiday season. It's so tight between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and there's so much going on. But there's a lot of really great community events going. I'll be on Saturday in Cohasset for their village fair, and I enjoyed the ones in Hingham. And but there's so many wonderful things. The children's courses. There are just a lot of great things going on out there. So just remember to look up and get out there and enjoy the holiday spirits.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, that's State Representative Joan Meschino of Hull. Thanks so much for joining us today.
It's great to be here.
Absolutely. I'm Christine James, 95.9. Christine James, 95.9.